Let's take a look at what Tesla did today. So we closed at 374.32, down $3.85, down 1%. Post-market seemed to be down by another buck or so. Let's take a look at what this means on the chart. So we were following this triangle right here. Triangle, triangle, the highs going low and the lows going higher. And we came outside of it yesterday. This was not a good news. This was not a good news in itself. This was telling us that the trend for the lows going up right here, the trend of the lows going up, this is a low, this is a low, this is a low. And that trend broke. Trend broke. So, something that was happening for a couple of months has stopped. So, this is significant. If something happens once and then it stops, that's just par for the course. But if something that happens on a consistent basis for a couple of months and then it stops, then something has changed. This is what we are doing on this channel. We are identifying those trends. So this was not good. And then we watched on the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour chart, we had a little bit more details. And then we saw that we started to break 379.14. So that break was an indication that we should be continuing lower. And this is what happened today. So on the 1 hour chart, Tesla on the first hour of the day came as low as 363.18. Quite far from 360.65, and now we are having a little bit of a pullback. So the pullback is happening. No stochastic on the pullback, so we should not believe this pullback. This is our rule. This is how we can understand if something is just pulling back and will continue. By looking at stochastic over 60, this is helping telling us. This is helping telling us that no, this should be continuing down. Also, at the same time, we have this downward channel resistance that is also helping us. And this one, we broke outside of it. So, this one is telling us that this move on the last hour or last 30 minutes is a significant move because we are outside of this downward resistance, but stochastic does not believe it yet. So we'll see who wins. We could be also getting back up to 378 and then continue down afterwards. So that can also happen. But, this is not the best day for Tesla. Stochastic is not over 60 on the 1 hour chart. On the daily chart, even less. On the 5-minute chart, yes, stochastic is over 60 on the 1 hour chart. So we'll see if this translates tomorrow into the 1 hour chart and maybe eventually on the daily chart. But for sure, this is not the time to buy Tesla. It's not because something is lower that it's low. Oh, Tesla is lower, we should buy the dip. Well, depends. Depends on what type of dip it is. If it is the start of a downtrend, every single day it's going to be lower. So buying at the first dip, that's not the right solution. So we should be careful. It's not because it's low that it's good. But some people think like that. So this is why we have pullbacks when things go down. Things go down, we have a pullback because we have people that say, oh, this is low, I'm going to buy. So they make it go high, but there are so few of these people that their stock continues to go lower later. So this is why we have those pullback. Okay, I have to say that 360 is kind of an important support. It's kind of an important support. We had several touches in the past. Boom, 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 maybe 5 touches. The more touches we have, the more important is a support or resistance. So we had 5 touches. So it's possible that 360 really becomes the floor of that downward resistance, because this downward resistance is still at play. This diagonal support is not at play anymore, but maybe things are just going to settle on that 360. So it's still possible that it happens. We'll see. we'll see. If we break that 360, then the next stop is going to be 326. So we'll see what happens. We are still, if we look at the daily chart, we are still into this really tight downward channel. So there's also a possibility that we break that 360 and that we continue down. So that's it for that. Let's take a look at the VIX. VIX continuing down. So this should be positive for the stock market. The bonds had a nice move down yesterday. Right now, we are bouncing on a previous support, but we are definitely trending lower. This is the trend. And within that trend, downtrend, sometimes we are stopping on the horizontal resistance that we had in the past. Sometimes we are stopping on a diagonal support. So, this is what can happen. So while we are still in it, we should conclude that we are going to stay in it. Once we get out of it, then we get out of it, we are out of it. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Dow Jones, not too bad. A little bit of a down day, but overall still made a higher high and still made a higher low. S&P still a good day for that. Nasdaq still a good day. So, it's pretty much just Tesla that's not doing super well for many reasons. Tesla had, a miss on the earnings and the revenues, but the outlook of the company is really good. So far, we are basically, the stock is riding on the missed earnings and everything, and also riding on the fact that Elon has a little bit of a bad rep. Russell, look at this. I like to see something react to our lines. So boom, perfect reaction to our line. 23.25 is the resistance to break. It's hard to break it. We come close to it. What is the probability that we are stopping since January 20th, that we are stopping very close to 23.25? What is that probability that it's just random? Well, it's just random. It's not random. We are stopping at that price point. It's not always perfectly on it, but it's pretty perfect. These are just a little bit further away. This one is further away. This one is further away. So, we have 4 that are pretty darn perfect. These lines are real and they really show what's happening in the market. Let's take a look at the overall market. We have health. Health is not looking good. Commercial services, energy, health services, consumer durable. This is not doing too good, but retail is doing good, finance doing good, technology, services, pretty good, except CRM and IBM. Electronic technology doing pretty good. Tomorrow, we are going to get the non-farm payrolls. Is the economy increasing or decreasing? Right now, the expectation is that the US economy is expected to add 170,000 jobs in January, which would be the lowest in 3 months, reflecting a slowdown from 250K added in December last year. So we'll see what happens. The unemployment rate is projected to remain steady at 4.1%. If we are having bad news or worse news, maybe this is going to make people think that we might be going into a recession. People are reacting on the news, so we could be seeing a short-term effect at least. Let's take a look at some Tesla news that we have automatically posted on my Discord server. So Tesla CEO Elon Musk to meet with Indian Prime Minister once again. So Tesla wants to have Teslas in India. Elon Musk asked a Tesla engineer to work for Doge. And some Tesla shareholders were not too happy about that. So there's a lawsuit that is happening here. Also, Tesla begins hiring engineers for Optimus bot production at Fremont factory. So this is pretty good. Also, based on a survey, Tesla is alienating the people it needs most. Among EV shoppers, Tesla and its CEO have low favorability ratings in new study. That's going to make the next couple of years hard. Well, I don't know about that. But looking to buy an EV in the next year, 20%, and this is what people are looking at. So Favorable is in green and unfavorable. So Tesla has a lot of unfavorable. So a lot of people think that Tesla is unfavorable, most likely because of Elon's work at Doge. There's a Tesla director that sells $43 million worth of stock. So that's a lot. It does not mean that he does not believe in the company anymore. He could be wanting to buy a big house. If we take a look at the total insider trading volume by quarter, so we see that in Q3 of 2024, we had 164 million, and Q4, 44 million. Big. So a lot of people took money off the table. The stock in Q3 was not super high. It's really in Q4 that we had a big move up. So they sold just at the wrong time. They should have listened to this YouTube channel, because when we announced that we broke 273.79, it was the time to buy. So it was not the time to sell. It was not the time to sell. And if they had listened, they could have almost doubled their money. So timing the market is possible when it's extrapolating what's happening in the present. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.